Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sireesha, and today we're going to be doing the fifth part of our 7-part chakra series. Today's practice is going to be focusing on our VISHUDDHA chakra or our throat chakra. And this chakra is really where our voice lies, and it's not just our voice, but it's the energy that drives what we say, how we act, and even to a certain extent, the truth that we embody. And so that's going to really be the focus and the intention of our practice. The color for this chakra is blue. So if there's something blue that you'd like to bring into your practice space or something blue that you'd like to wear, you can go ahead and do that, and I will meet you on your mat. So we're going to start off our practice in a seated position, and you can come to a cross-legged seated position, or you can support your seat, maybe sitting up on a bolster or a blanket, and you might shift your weight here from side to side so that you can really feel your sit bones rooting down onto the ground. And if seated doesn't work for you, know that you can always come to lay down instead. We'll start to come into the body here. And so you might need to adjust your stance a little bit more. You might need to scoot forward or backwards, re-wiggle to find that rooting sensation of your seat. And from that rooting sensation, feel your spine grow tall. And we spend so much of our time really leaning in and moving from a forward space. So I invite you to really sit back into yourself, stacking your shoulders over your hips. And you might soften your gaze down to a spot on the floor that's not going to move, or maybe close your eyes down. And just take a couple of releasing breaths here, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, however many that you need to come into this space. Releasing anything that came before this moment, and releasing any expectations for what's coming next. Just allow yourself to be here, seated in your body with your truth, holding space for whatever feelings or sensations arrive on your mat as you move. So much of being in balance with this energetic center at your throat chakra is about really speaking and acting from a place of truth and authenticity. And that's the intention for our practice. We've been starting off each of our chakra practices with a mantra or an intention, and today's intention or mantra is I speak, act, and embody my truth. I speak, act, and embody my truth. You might repeat this with me louder in your head. I speak, act, and embody my truth. And by doing so, you really help to bring this energetic center at your throat, your VISHUDDHA chakra, into balance. You live your life fully and with authenticity. That capability exists within you, and this practice, this time, is going to help you channel that energy. And so when you're ready, you can slowly blink open your eyes, lift your gaze, and we'll just do some gentle movements here, focusing on the neck, the shoulders, and the head. So on an inhale, you'll roll your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, soften them down by your sides. 2 more times like this, inhaling, rolling the shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale to soften them down by your sides. Last round with your breath, moving gently. And then from here on an inhale, we'll reach the hands up toward the ceiling. Exhale, cactus the arms here, open up across your chest. Inhale, reach your hands up toward the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hands down by your sides. So you'll take your hands about 6 inches away from your thighs, and you'll tent up onto your fingertips, lengthen up through your spine. And as you exhale, turn your head towards the right, moving gently. And don't really worry about being in a certain shape or in a certain space. Your nose can be at an angle. You can be in line with your shoulder. And we'll just draw some gentle circles here with the nose, moving in one direction. Breathing while you draw these circles, and then moving in the other direction. You might close the eyes down or soften your gaze to really feel into where the sensations are coming up in this pose. And we'll come back through center and take it over to the other side, gently moving the head and the shoulders, and keeping the shoulders steady, actually, just moving your head and your nose towards the left. Release down through your shoulders, sit back into yourself again, breathing into the right side of your neck, and you might draw some circles here with your nose. Moving in one direction, and then moving in the other direction. Taking a moment to pause with this movement, sit with this movement and notice where you feel the sensations. Then we'll come back through center and bring the hands to your lap. And just notice how you're feeling. And now from here, we'll shift the gaze up. So as you inhale, send your gaze up. Don't let your head fall back, just maybe shifting your gaze up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. Lengthening along the front of your neck, and you might bring your hands here and just walk the hands, rub the hands down the neck, inviting the length there. And then we'll come back through center. As you exhale, start to dip your chin down towards your chest. Looking down is kind of a familiar sensation here. We look down at the ground when we walk. We look down at our phone when we're playing with our phone. See if you can activate this pose a little bit by softening through your shoulders and sitting with the sensations in your neck. And then we'll come back through center. And we'll do that again as you inhale, lengthen up through your neck. Shift your gaze up just slightly. Don't dip your head back. Don't let it fall back. Keep that engagement. And you might bring your hands to your neck. We're going to incorporate some massage, just drawing your fingertips down the front of your neck. Maybe down the sides of your neck. Bringing some blood flow, some self-love to your throat space, to the center of your voice. And we'll bring the gaze, the hands back to center. And we'll soften the gaze downward. And this time you can take your hands to your neck here and just draw the fingertips up towards the base of your skull. So just moving the hands along the back of the neck and the sides of the neck, this time moving in an upward energy. And then we'll come back through neutral. Release the hands to your lap and just notice. Take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale it out through your mouth. Now from here, we're going to come to cat-cow. So take the time with this transition. We're going to come to hands and knees. Your wrists are going to come underneath your shoulders. Your knees will come underneath your hips. And as you inhale, shift your gaze upwards, shift your tail upward, lengthen across the front of your neck. And as you exhale, we'll round through the spine, shift the gaze towards the navel. Inhale to send your gaze up, lengthen through the neck. Tail lifts up as well. Exhale, round through your spine, shift your gaze towards your navel. Take one more round with a normal breath. And we'll come back to a neutral spine and we'll sit back on the heels. And we're going to incorporate lion's breath in this cat-cow movement. And so the lion's breath is a really empowering pranayama that really helps to cleanse and clear out. A pranayama is a breathing practice. So what you'll do is you'll inhale through your nose and you'll stick your tongue out and exhale it out through your mouth. And you might even make a little bit of a sound as you do that exhale. So you'll take an inhale through your nose, then stick your tongue out and exhale out through your mouth. So we'll incorporate that with our cat-cow breath here, our cat-cow movement. So you'll bring your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and we're going to move with opposite breath here. So as you inhale, we're going to draw in. And as you exhale, we're going to open out and say, use our lion's breath and say, right? So inhale to round in, draw a breath in. Exhale to lift your head, your tail, and stick your tongue out. 2 more rounds like this. Last round. And then we'll come back to that neutral spine and find a child's pose for just one or 2 rounds of breath to integrate what just happened. Noticing how your throat feels, if there's any heat building in your body. Maybe take yourself 2% less seriously to allow yourself to have an authentic experience. This is a safe space. This is time to explore and practice. Give yourself permission to speak, act, and embody your truth. We'll slowly press back up to hands and knees so that we can tuck the toes and send the hips up and back, finding our first downward facing dog of our practice. And you might pedal it out here, bending one knee and then the other. You might nod the head yes. You might shake the head no. And as you press into your palms, think about sending your seat high up toward the ceiling, lengthening through your spine and pressing down into your fingertips. Your knees can be bent a little or a lot here. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale it out through your mouth. Excellent. Slowly walk your hands back towards your feet just a little bit to shorten your downward facing dog and maybe bend through your knees. And we're going to turn this into a twist. So you'll take your right hand to the outside of your left ankle or your left shin, and then shift your gaze underneath your left armpit here. Keep sending your seat higher up toward the ceiling, turning this into a twist. Think long spine, pressing into whatever's making contact with the ground below you, and then slowly release that work. And we'll do the second side. So weight of the body's in that right hand. And you're going to cross that left arm underneath you to grab hold of the outside of your right leg. And shift your gaze underneath your right armpit here. Setting your seat high. Finding the twist here. Letting your neck, shoulders, and head relax and soften as much as you can. And then we'll slowly release that work. Coming back out to a regular downward facing dog, walking the hands out. Inhale, come onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, shift the gaze forward, and walk the feet up to meet the hands, finding your forward fold. Inhale to lift up halfway. Think long spine, really elongating through your neck so there's no wrinkles in the back of your neck. And exhale to fold. One more time like that. Inhale, lift up halfway. Think long spine. Exhale to fold. Press down into your feet. Inhale, rise up. Reach your hands all the way up toward the sky or the ceiling, your practice space. Exhale, fold it forward, diving back down. Inhale to lift up halfway, think long spine. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands and step your feet back to find your plank pose. Take an inhale here in your plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way down to your mat, finding your cobra pose, preparing for that work. So tops of the feet press down into the mat, bringing your hands to frame your chest. Inhale, lift up. And now we're going to hang out here in our cobra pose. We're not going to stay here for just one round of breath. So really get comfortable. Press into the tops of your feet, engage through your back body, and notice the weight in your hands. Maybe see if you can lighten them. Draw your shoulder blades together on your back and shift your gaze just past the top edge of your mat. No wrinkles in the back of your neck. And as you exhale, slowly lower down. And you might wiggle here from side to side like you're a piece of jello. And we're going to do that cobra pose one more time. So when you're ready, firm up through your legs, press into the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift up. Work your shoulder blades together on your back, firm up through your core. Loud plane overhead. And then notice if you're really shifting your gaze up and soften it down to that spot right in front of the top edge of your mat. Work your shoulder blades together on your back and breathe here. Noticing how you move with your inhales and how you move with your exhales. And we'll slowly lower all the way down. Pause for a moment, maybe wiggle if you need to. You might bring your hands down by your sides, and we'll bring the left cheek down to the ground, down to the mat, to release into the left side of the neck, the right side of the neck, and breathe into the back body here. And we'll come back through center and switch it out, bringing the right cheek down to the mat. Releasing through the sides of the neck, softening here. And we'll come back through center. Bring the hands to frame the chest. Press up through hands and knees. Tuck the toes and send the hips up and back, finding your downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale it out through your mouth. Good. On an inhale, come onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, shift your gaze forward, and walk your feet up to meet your hands, finding your forward fold. Inhale to lift up halfway, think long spine. Exhale to fold. Press down into your feet. Inhale, rise up, take up space as you find your upward pose here. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, long spine. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands, step back to your plank pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale to lower all the way or halfway down. Come onto the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift up, cobra pose or upward facing dog. Exhale to make your way back to your downward facing dog. We're going to go through one more sun salutation A together. Take your time and move with your breath. Inhale onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, shift your gaze forward, and walk your feet up to meet your hands, finding your forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, long spine. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands, find your plank pose. Take an inhale in your plank pose. Exhale to lower all the way or halfway down. Inhaling to come up for your cobra pose or your upward facing dog. Exhaling to make your way back to your downward facing dog. Take 2 to 3 rounds of breath here in your downward facing dog, or if you're ready, you can come down to your child's pose, and that's where we're going to meet. Good. Once you've arrived, we'll take the hands together to touch, and we'll bring the fingertips and the thumb tips to point towards the tailbone, hands at the nape of the neck. Breathing here, maybe lengthening your neck just a little bit more by shifting your forehead forward just slightly. No big movements here, just a gentle adjustment for your child's pose. Bringing your awareness to your throat space, your VISHUDDHA chakra. And we'll slowly release the hands down to your mat. Take your time with the transition. Gently lift yourself back up to that comfortable seated position. So you might shift your weight here from side to side again so that you can feel your sit bones rooting and grounding down into the mat. And we're coming back to the same pose that we started our practice off in. Lengthen up through your spine. Tuck your chin in towards your chest to lengthen down the sides of your neck here for 3. Keep tucking your chin in here for 2. Last 1. And then slowly release that work. On an inhale, roll your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, soften them down by your sides. And we'll just do that neck massage again here. So as you inhale, lift your gaze up ever so slightly. This time it doesn't have to be as much. Take your hands to your neck and just draw your fingertips down your neck. You might even start at your chin and bring your hands down all the way to your chest. Maybe the sides of the neck here. Energetic centers aren't just along the front channel of the body, they go in all directions. You might release your hands down, shift your gaze downward, and do the same thing in the back of your neck, this time moving up, drawing your fingertips along the sides of your neck and the back of your neck up towards the nape of your neck, towards the base where your skull and your neck meet. We'll slowly come back through center and pause here. And if seated doesn't work for you, you can always come to lay down. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Just come to lay down on my back. And if you're joining me in laying down, you might heel toe your feet toward the edges of your mat and allow your knees to knock in towards each other. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And exhale it out through your mouth. Come back to your intention and your focus here. Remembering that you act, speak, and embody your truth. And so you might notice that our movement practice was a little on the shorter side. As we transition to the energetic centers that reside in the upper part of the body, the practice to activate and balance that energetic center shifts and changes. So we'll spend some time here in meditation. And that's why I truly do invite you to come to lay down if you're not laying down already, because that can be a little bit more sustainable for meditation. And you can keep your hands on your body if you'd like, or you can keep them down by your sides. And just scan the body, inviting a sense of softness to wash over your muscles. Just notice your breath here. Deep, full inhales. Deep, full exhales. And you might start to count your inhales here. So inhaling for a count of 4. And exhaling for a count of 4. Inhaling for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhaling for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. That count can be as fast or as slow as you'd like. Gaze wherever you want. Eyes open or closed. Breathing slowly, evenly, and deeply. Knowing that if counting your breath doesn't serve you, you can always release that and just stay with full inhales and full exhales. Just bring your awareness to your throat. Knowing that your throat is a channel of energy. It allows you to communicate your truth. It connects your heart and your mind. And you might send your breath to your throat chakra, to that throat space. If you are counting your breath, you can release that at any time. I'll just start to visualize here a seed, a blue seed, sitting at the base of your neck. A little dip in the front part of your neck. Imagining that blue seed glowing with a blue aura, blue light around it. As you inhale, feeling that blue light expand. As you exhale, feeling that blue light come back in. There's light emanating from that seed, and it moves as you inhale, expands, and softens in as you exhale. know that you can trust the wisdom of this blue light that sits at the base of your neck. Trust that you can clearly communicate and act and speak your truth. And if you'd like to, you can add on to this meditation by bringing more energy focused on space and communication by taking your middle finger and your thumb together to touch. This is called Gyan Mudra, and it's an energetic seal that helps harness the power of the space element within you and helps to channel clarity and authenticity in your truth in your actions and your speech and your communication. Breathing here with that blue light at the base of your throat for 3 more rounds of breath. And slowly release the mudra. Release your focus on your throat chakra. Just start to scan the body, noticing all the sensations. And I invite you to bring your hands onto your upper chest, maybe right where your neck and your chest meet. And it might mean that your elbows are engaged a little bit here. You might soften them down. And we're going to chant the seed mantra, the bija mantra for the throat chakra, which is Hum. By bringing your hands to the space, you can really come into connection with the vibrations, that energy that's generated from chanting the seed mantra. And you can choose to chant aloud or you can choose to chant in your head. But we'll start by taking a cleansing inhale and exhale. So breathe in through your nose and exhale it out through your mouth. And inhale to chant. One more time. Breathe here, noticing an energy generated by all of the elements of our practice. Releasing your hands if you need to. And just resting here for 5 more rounds of breath. Noticing what's coming up here. Sitting with sensations and sitting with your breath. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to this space. We'll take 1 more round of breath here. And as you're ready, you can start to take gentle movements to wake your body up. Wiggling fingers and toes, pulling the ankles and the wrists, moving the head from side to side. Know that you can stay in stillness for longer if that serves you. Ready, we'll draw the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. You might draw your knees in towards your chest, draw your forehead towards your knees, rounding into a ball, giving yourself a hug. And slowly roll over onto one side and pause before gently pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position, coming full circle to the pose that we started our practice off in. Keeping your gaze downward or your eyes closed to keep your focus inward. Come up through your spine and bring your hands together in front of your heart center, bowing your head. Coming back to your intention, remembering that you speak, act, and embody your truth. Carrying this truth and this knowledge of your authenticity with you into the rest of your day. Slowly lift your gaze, release your hands down. Open your eyes. Thank you all so much for joining me in this practice. If you enjoyed this practice, let me know by leaving me a comment in the comment section below or giving me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see anything more from me, let me know and hit the subscribe button so that you can get all the latest videos from me. Thank you so much again and take care.